Hey folks, how's it going? So this week's What We Know Wednesday is all about Mullein. Mullein. I love Mullein. I think she's one of those plant allies that everybody should have with them in some form in their home, especially in the winter months. Now, Mullein is fantastic for anybody who's dealing with lung issues. I don't care if it's from you're trying to quit smoking or if you've had lifelong asthma or you've got some nasty bronchial stuff going on or you caught something going around your work or whatever's happening, Mullein should be in your cupboard. Now, Mullein is really amazing as an antimicrobial, an antibacterial, an antiviral, and she's so effective at supporting lung well-being. In this study right here, they're like, can we use her for TB? That's crazy, right? Because sometimes TB isn't responding to stuff anymore, like lots of issues because we overuse antibiotics and stuff. And so they're like, yeah, we don't pay attention to that, but they're trying to see if they can use Mullein, like she's been used historically for thousands of years, to work with people who have resistant TB, and that's pretty amazing. And really, I love Mullein in an infusion form when it comes to like extensive care for the lungs. So like an infusion is basically where you would put an ounce of dried mullein leaves in a quart jar, which is 4 cups. There's like 4 cups to a quart of boiling water over top. You let it sit for the next day. You strain it out really well because mullein has these itty bitty little tiny hairs, right? Like if anybody ever tells you to wipe your ass with mullein, if they call it like cowboy toilet paper or something, they've never actually done that. Mullein is really irritating to the skin. Those little hairs are like fiberglass. Your asshole will burn or wherever else you're wiping. But you want to make sure when you are making infusion to drink this, please be respectful enough to not wipe your ass with Mullein. You want to make sure that you get those little hairs out because they will also really irritate your lungs and your intestinal tract. And isn't that kind of ironic that once you remove this irritant from Mullein, she becomes a real soother. Now, if you can tolerate dairy, I love adding whole milk to Mullein infusion with a little bit of honey. It's amazing for clearing out gunk from your lungs, making it thin enough that you can cough it up with ease, calming sore throats, helping with, if you've got a little bit of a virus, a little bit of a fever, a little bit of pain. Now, some people can even feel sleepy from Mullein. It probably comes down to genetics, whether your ancestors used Mullein a lot. She's from pretty much all of Europe, right? There aren't very many countries over in Western and even Eastern Europe that don't have Mullein growing. Around the 1800s, she became common in the US as well. But she's pretty much everywhere at this point. You can find her in disturbed soil. I would resist the urge to gather the ones you see by all the farming fields. They're big and they're huge, but that's because they're like pumped up on chemicals, right? But you can find her, you can readily order her online. Now, a Mullein tincture is good too. Tea isn't bad, but because she's not overly fragrant, it's best to use her as a long brewed infusion versus a quick brewed tea. Now, you can get the Mullein stalks or the flowers and you can dry them out and make an earache oil. I have a video here about how to do that. I usually can join her with like garlic as well as like willow bark, right, to make an earache oil. But you can also turn the stalks into candles by dipping them in wax once they're dry, and you can even dig up the root if you want to make a pain relieving infused oil. So Mullein is really amazing. She's a fantastic ally to work with, and I believe with all of my heart that you are smart enough and capable of taking this information and enriching your well-being with it. So I really believe that. So if you like my videos, my What We Know Wednesdays and my random pop-up things and just being a human here with you, talking about, burning buttholes from wiping with Mullein and things like that, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share. Sharing is super important because it helps other people realize that they are smart enough to do this too. And if you would like to support my capacity to teach freely, consider checking out my shop, Wildwood Apothecary, or becoming a member. Anything like that helps me keep the roof over my head and continue to teach freely. So thank you so much for watching folks, and we'll see you next time. Bye.